The Avenger was on course to New Brazil, but I had a few hours to kill, so I quickly made my way down to the barracks to meet with our newest recruit. But I was sidetracked by a rather ghoulish display. Had we always had these decapitated heads stuck up on a display case? When exactly did the men start collecting body parts and arranging them artfully just outside the rooms they slept in? I vaguely recalled Karn saying something about skulls for some sort of skull throne, but I didn't want to jump to any conclusions. We were allying ourselves with a lot of weird people, so it was entirely possible that this was something that Mox or Dragonova or maybe even Henrik had decided to do in their spare time. At any rate, I made a mental note to ask around about it later, and then I headed into the barracks to meet our new recruit. Apparently his name was Dylan Salviti. It wasn't the name I remembered from the original mission report, but I had come to accept my occasionally misfiring memories by that point. He was a rather intimidating demolitions expert who, up until recently, had apparently been doing mercenary work for the skirmishers. He seemed capable enough, so I welcomed him aboard and told him to grab his gear. He'd have ample opportunity to impress me with his skills during our raid. Afterwards, I headed down to the hangar where the engineering team had just finished bolting some more seats into the Sky Ranger. Things were getting pretty cramped in there, but it would let us carry squads of up to 6 men at a time during future operations. Satisfied that I had made just about all of the last-minute preparations possible, I headed back up to the Situation Room to put together the rest of the strike squad. Operation Fire Fist was going to be our deadliest ground mission yet. The Grey Shirts were predicting heavy advent resistance, and word from our local informants was that the Peacekeepers had even brought in some sort of super monster to help guard the facility. With that in mind, I called in some of our most experienced soldiers. Mox and Dragonova were the most obvious choices, and if Dragonova was going, then that meant that Captain Altex was also going. Since I had already decided that Lieutenant Salviti would be serving as our heavy support on this mission, it just left 2 more slots to fill. So I called in Captain Phoenix and Lieutenant Gorechild, one to save lives and the other to take them. It was almost poetic in a murderous sort of way. With the team assembled, all eyes were on me. I reluctantly gave the signal. Operation Fire Fist had officially begun.
Resistance contacts tipped us to an alien facility apparently conducting research tied to the Avatar project. We're moving in to take out the site and do whatever we can to slow their progress. Approach the designated target position and place the X4 charges. Then move to the evac point for immediate extraction. Once you're clear, we'll make sure that facility is out of commission for good. Menace 1-5. Target coordinates are locked in. Move to designated position and place the X4 charges.
Try to keep it down.
Hey, RetconRaider here, and welcome back to episode 12 of my ongoing Let's Play War of the Chosen series. This is it, the moment we've been building up to for 2 episodes now. Our first real facility raid. And on top of that, this mission apparently is going to involve one of the alien rulers from the Alien Hunter DLC, so we've got that to look forward to. Some of you may be wondering why there's an alien ruler already, even though I didn't trigger the initial quest that's supposed to introduce them. Unfortunately, it turns out when I chose to integrate the DLC content into the expansion, apparently what that actually meant was that it would add all of the DLC content except for the special story missions.
Advancing quickly.
They probably could have made that a bit clearer. And unfortunately, there's no way I can go back and change it now. Not without restarting the whole campaign, anyway. Trust me, I'm just as disappointed as you are. Now, obviously at the moment, we're just trekking across this oddly luminescent swamp. Things are quiet for the moment, but that's likely to change the second we've got the facility within visual range. For the moment, we're obviously letting Dragonova lead the pack. As usual, she can spot enemies for us with minimal risk of being spotted in return. Then we can react accordingly to whatever enemies we're about to walk into.
Stepping off. Already there. Already there. Let's do this. Wait,
I see everything.
they move.
At this point, we're one move action away from being able to physically see the building. Even if we don't run into any enemy pods, there's almost certainly going to be at least 1 or 2 Advent turrets up on the rooftops here. You'll have to bear with me here, I'm just trying to pick the perfect spot. This is a highly dangerous mission, and we've got some of our most valuable troops here. We definitely don't want to screw anything up this early in the mission.
My life is in your hands.
Okay, nothing yet. Let's start moving up the rest of the team.
Moving. Patrol sighted.
And there it is. A 3-enemy pod plus the Berserker Queen. The Advent pod looks pretty standard, a mech and 2 Advent troopers. I don't see the Berserker Queen now, she's just out of visual range. If we're lucky, they'll end up separating and we can engage them each individually. It'll be a lot easier to take out the Berserker Queen if she's by herself. We'll focus on bringing up the rest of the team for now, but we're definitely not going to attack until after we see where these guys are all going.
Location confirmed. Our staff ready. On overwatch.
I am on watch. I will always find you.
Of all the aliens running around out there these days, she just had to modify a berserker, didn't she?
Her curiosity was not unfounded, although I agree it was perhaps not the most prudent of choices.
I like how they default to disabling the story missions that go with the DLC, but they don't bother disabling the special dialogue that refers to those story missions.
I go where I'm needed. You cannot run.
That turret does complicate things a little bit, but as long as Dragonova's shadow is active, it won't be able to spot her. So I'm going to go ahead and toss a claymore at this thing. And then our Grenadier's going to officially start this fight with a plasma grenade. This should take out all of this thing's armor and a big chunk of its first health bar. And after that, oh boy. If you haven't had the pleasure of fighting an alien ruler before, get ready for some weapons-grade bolognium.
They spotted us! We've got a chance to take this thing down once and for all, Commander. Let's get it done.
Okay, well, right off the bat here, I can't help but notice that Salviti's cover has disappeared. Apparently, the tree he was behind has vanished from this plane of existence, but unfortunately we have other problems to focus on at the moment. We're going to start off by unloading all of our free attacks so it doesn't get a chance to react.
Right out for my kid.
And now things get a lot harder.
It would Stay alert for rapid movement as it attempts to reposition itself.
Oh, Mox just stunned it. Okay. We might actually be able to take this thing out before it gets the chance to hurt anyone. Oh no, you... What? XCOM, come on! Okay, this is pretty awful. We just need to keep pouring damage into this thing and hope we can force it to retreat. Oh, thank goodness. Hair trigger. Okay, hit it again. Okay, now he's suddenly unstunned. The problem here is that I stunned it, but the game didn't register the stun until after it completed the action it was already taking.
Is some sort of psionic rift. I cannot begin to fathom why Dr. Vahlen would have allowed it to have this ability.
It's trying to make a break for it. Take it out before it gets away.
At least I managed to chase her off. Oh, and now we have to deal with these guys.
You will never hide from me.
Unfortunately, with that single attack, the Berserker Queen took out Phoenix, our only healer. Fortunately, he's only knocked out, but unfortunately, we have no way to wake him up. So, now we have to try to run the rest of the mission with no healer, and while carting around an unconscious teammate.
No problem, boss.
Ah, right, the turret. Well, we'll ignore that for now and focus on hitting these guys with a grenade.
Boom!
Alright, that shreds their armor and health and takes out all their cover. So now we can start going for some kill shots. The damage indicator says that Mox has a good chance of taking this mech out in one shot, so let's start with that. Okay, so far so good. Now let's take out one of the troopers.
My weapon is almost depleted.
That's 2 down, and some loot if we can actually get someone out there fast enough. Now, pretty much anyone can take out that other trooper, so let's see if we can neutralize the turret before it gets a chance to shoot at us.
Not a problem. Yeah, I
Well,
didn't get it.
statistically, I guess I can't expect to hit every time. Let's go ahead and start moving Dragonova up.
I go where
She
you
can
tell
take
me.
out that Advent Trooper, and
Menace 1-5, you're near the target position.
this will put her closer to... Oh, you have got to be kidding me.
I can only blame myself.
Okay, Karn. One more shot before they get to return fire. You know what, let's just bypass the RNG and blow up that fuel tank instead. There we go, 1 guaranteed kill.
This looks a little ugly.
Altex just took a pretty solid hit, but he'll survive for now. And now we should be able to take out that turret pretty easily. That sets it up for an easy kill. Now someone just needs to finish it off.
I must reload.
And Mox is out of visual range, right. I wanted to sprint Dragonova over towards the loot, but let's have her finish off the turret instead.
Tell your god I'm coming. I'll need more ammo soon.
It cost her stealth, but at least that clears all the immediate threats off the field. Gives us a chance to reload our guns and regroup. Yeah, there's something weird going on with all this cover here. It all got messed up when Salvini took that first shot with his grenade launcher. Then there was that baloney with the Berserker Queen ignoring being stunned, but that's just XCOM. We've got to deal with it.
No place for you to
Ooh,
go.
we've got an all-Viper pod incoming. Karn missed his shot, but he did take out that boulder the Viper was ducking behind. Okay, I want to take these guys out quick before they can do any more damage to us, so let's see what we can do here. There's not a whole lot of cover left after all those explosions. Makes it hard to advance on them. Salvini does have one more plasma grenade to play with, but he's just out of range. I guess we'll just hedge our bets and assume we're going to take both of these things out in a single turn. This might destroy the loot, but I can live with that. Okay, well, loot is grenade-proof. Good to know. Let's go ahead and pick off the first Viper. Blood for the Blood God. Nice. Just enough damage to drop it. Bit of lag there. That was weird. Okay, now let's go take out that other Viper. Let's see here. We can... That's odd. Apparently I can't get visual no matter where I move. This thing should be visible from pretty much anywhere I stand. There's no cover left after I hit it with that grenade. Yeah, I can't even draw line of sight if I move into the building. I mean, there's some sort of invisible cover that's completely blocking our line of sight from seeing that second Viper.
I was born in the shadows.
Okay, well, since I can't attack that other Viper, I'm just going to go ahead and put Dragonova back into the shadows and have her scoop up that loot. Nothing great, but I guess I can use it.
Don't worry.
And I guess we'll just move our other guys a little closer and put them on Overwatch for when that thing inevitably comes out from behind its invisible wall.
I'm on it. Attacking on sight. I have failed.
And they both missed. Well, that could have been worse, but poison's still pretty bad. I have no way of healing that damage or removing the poison condition. They'll just have to wait it out and hope they survive. First, let's try to take out that Viper. We'll start with Karn's lightning hands. Not quite enough to kill it. I guess we'll have Altex take it out with a Blade Rush. That'll hopefully finish it off and get him out of the poison in a single action. There we go. Better late than never.
What did you expect?
Now let's go ahead and start bringing up the rest of the squad.
I go quickly.
I can handle that.
And I guess Karn will scoop up Phoenix on his way up there.
And now.
Hard to say if Karn actually cares whether Phoenix lives or dies, or if he's just loath to leave all that perfectly good blood lying on the battlefield.
On your order.
And I think we'll go ahead and move Dragonova up top so she can start spotting more enemies for us. I do need to be at least a little wary here. There's pretty much guaranteed to still be at least 1 or 2 more turrets up on the roof.
I understand. The time for hiding is over.
Okay, just one. That's not too bad.
Scanning. I think they got me. Okay. This is bad.
Salviti managed to shake off the poison. Unfortunately, Altex is still slowly dying, so we've got to keep that in mind. Let's, I think what we're going to do is maybe move Dragonova to the edge of the roof. There's probably another pod down there somewhere. Actually, the turret shouldn't be able to see us inside the building, so let's just go ahead and start moving the squad inside. We can plant the explosives and trigger the evac zone.
Heading out.
And there's another pod.
But these monsters are no better than the ones my father dealt with.
Looks like a trooper, a shield bearer, and our first Archon. That's definitely a pain. But we've still got actions with pretty much our entire squad, so let's see how we can approach this. Archons are kind of hard to hit, so let's bring Salviti up first. He's got the hollow targeting perk, so even if he misses, he'll still give a bonus to everyone else's accuracy. Well, could have gone better, but at least everyone gets those bonuses. Let's go ahead and set Phoenix back down for a moment, see if Karn can line up a shot.
Easy now.
Unfortunately, it looks like putting Phoenix down took one of his actions, so he'll take a shot with his pistol instead. And another miss.
Enemy is still up.
Okay, everybody just shoot at the Archon. Finally. Okay. Even after having all his blood replaced with poison, Altex lands a solid critical hit. Let's bring Mox up and see if he can finish it off. Unfortunately, he can't hit it with justice, and we don't really want to focus on the other guys just yet. Let's risk a normal shot. There we go. Now let's just bring Dragonova back down to ground level, see if she can pick off a shot at someone.
I will go. I know where you are.
Only a 7 in 10 chance of hitting. I guess she doesn't really have any other options though, so let's go for it. Okay, now, Dragonova, I can't help but notice you missed there, and I think I spotted the flaw in your approach. You smashed the glass to give yourself a clear shot through the window, but then you fired straight into the adjacent wall instead.
One hurts a little.
Altex is still poisoned, but at least the enemies didn't make any attacks against us. The shield bearer did manage to put up a shield, but that shouldn't be too much of a problem. That took out a chunk of his health and stunned him. I could start focusing on the shield bearer now, but I think I'll go ahead and execute this guy instead. As for the shield bearer, I know I want to blow the walkway out from beneath him. Altex has a grenade, but I'm not sure if he can get close enough, not while he's poisoned. Oh, that little guardrail might work. But Altex is still poisoned and he's getting pretty low on health. I'm hesitant to move him into a position that might expose him to more enemy fire. But I'm not really seeing any better options here, so let's go for it.
Absolutely.
Now I just need the cursor to go where I want it. That should work. Right there. I hope that'll take out the floor. Nice. That knocks out his shield, takes out his armor, does some damage to his health, and knocks him out of elevation. Though he does still have full cover in that position. This might be a job for Karn and his blood god. If I'm going to force him to save a life, I'll have to balance the books by letting him sate his bloodlust on someone else. Good grief. This whole mission has been ridiculous.
Re-up and reload.
At this point, I'm genuinely hoping the turret's the only enemy left on the field, so let's go ahead and move Dragonova up to the objective. Actually, if she kicks open that door, she'll lose her shadow, so I guess we'll move next to the door first.
I will reposition.
Salviti will reload and overwatch, and then...
Overwatch. Damn, that stinks.
Hey, no enemies, and Altex is no longer poisoned. Let's go ahead and pop the door, move Dragonova up to plant the explosives, and then we'll see where our evac zone is coming in.
Moving out.
And we'll have to keep an eye out for the enemy reinforcement flares.
Menace 1-5, status confirmed. X4 charges are armed. Move to the extraction point for immediate evac.
Oh, nice. We actually get to place the evac zone ourselves. I was worried it was automatically going to pick one for us like it did during the Black Site raid. Well, let's go ahead and put it out here, where Karn can reach it in a single turn. That way we can get Phoenix out of here right away. Alright, Karn, I know it goes against your baser instincts, but please pick up Phoenix and carry him back to the Sky Ranger.
I'm on it.
Moving out.
Now, I could probably evac most of our other soldiers, but I know there's at least one reinforcement pod that'll be coming in, so I kinda want to stick around and set up an ambush to see if I can eke out a few more kills.
It is under my watch. Come get some. Let's go. Got it covered.
And there it is, right next to our evac zone.
Menace 1-5, be advised, we've picked up hostile reinforcements inbound on your position.
Heading out.
Okay, we'll just camp our guys right in or around our evac zone and set up for an overwatch trap. Then we'll have one more turn afterwards to finish off any stragglers before we hop back on the Sky Ranger.
Whatever you say. watch.
Volk says I am to obey.
I stand ready.
My watch begins.
And here they come. Looks like a mech, a shield bearer, and a priest. Okay.
The target's link is unmistakable.
Well, unfortunately, we wasted all of our shots on the priest, and he has that magic stasis bubble that prevents us from killing him in a single turn.
Their numbers only
Menace
seem
1-5, be
endless.
advised, we've picked up hostile reinforcements inbound on your position.
And we've got a second pod coming in, so let's just move our guys into the evac zone, take parting shots, and get out of here.
Get it together. I'm out of here. I will move. Returning to Avenger.
I go where you tell me.
Nice, there we go. One more kill for the road. And as a bonus, that netted Dragonova an ability point and a promotion. And we're done. So long, suckers.
Getting out of here! Menace 1-5, status confirmed. X4 charges detonating.
Huh. I'm glad to see the turret survived the carnage.
Years of peace and prosperity will not be undone by the reckless actions of a few misguided dissidents today. We stand with the elders, trust in their wisdom, and we shall overcome this crisis. I doubt we've seen the last of Valen's little experiment, Commander. Best stay on our toes. It could show up again at any time.
Hey, it looks like Karn made friends with someone. And apparently it's Mox. That's a bit surprising. Well, I think they make a good team, so I approve. Maybe it was Mox who set up that display of severed heads. That would certainly explain why Karn's so buddy-buddy with him all of a sudden. And all that hard fighting and we only get a single promotion. Oh well, let's see what new perks Dragonova has to play with. Well, she's rocking 21 ability points, so we can get a couple of perks. Sting, fire a shot while in shadow, guaranteed to remain in shadow. Soul Harvest, kill shots increase crit chance by 5 to a maximum of 20. And Shredder, your vector rifle attacks shred armor. Well, that's useful. And older abilities we haven't taken. Tactical rigging might be nice. She has no equipment slots, and that would give her one. I'm definitely tempted to take tactical rigging. Sting's not bad. Shredder's a pretty strong contender, too. I think we'll focus on giving her some anti-armor. So let's pick up Shredder. And we'll grab tactical rigging as well. That used a couple of our pooled XCOM ability points, but I can live with that. After all my fretting and worrying, Operation Fire Fist was a complete success. Not only that, but pretty much everything possible had gone wrong the second our squad had made contact with the enemy, but the men had still somehow managed to salvage the mission. The spokesman was, of course, ecstatic. We hadn't managed to figure out what the Avatar project was all about, but he was just happy to know that we had managed to significantly delay Advent's progress. But of course, our victory hadn't come without a cost. A literal cost in this case, because we were perilously low on supplies after all that last-minute preparation that had gone into Operation Fire Fist. The black market was still in hiding, too, so we couldn't rely on selling contraband to raise some quick cash. Instead, we would need to start scrounging the surrounding regions for usable goods. In the wake of our tremendous victory over Advent, Mordena broke her radio silence, sending a brief message demeaning our efforts. I didn't call her back. It's just as well, I suppose, because there were already other things that demanded my attention. According to one of our civilian contacts, Advent was trying to assemble some sort of psychic transmitter which would allow their peacekeepers to react more quickly to our operations. Well, we couldn't allow that to happen, so I quickly started assembling another squad to handle Operation Furious Hero. Unfortunately, after our recent mission, Advent was on high alert, and we couldn't risk sending any of our better-known operatives on another mission so soon. Instead, I assembled a team consisting entirely of lower-profile operatives, ones who were still capable, but who hadn't managed to make it onto any most wanted lists. Sergeant Dome headed up the team with Messer on long-range support and Legion for close-quarters combat. I decided to hedge our bets and rounded out the rest of the team with some of our most heavily armed troops. Zoltan Major, Vlad Kapesh, and Wajtek Kot. Overkill? Maybe, but the mission involved destroying some Advent equipment, and with that much ordnance, I just didn't see how they could possibly fail.
During a recent scouting operation, our friends in the Resistance picked up readings from a massive psionic transmitter Advent just deployed in this area. As we understand it, destroying that transmitter while it's still connected to their network would cause catastrophic outages across the region. So that's exactly what we're going to do. Advent has constructed a psionic transmitter in this area, tied directly into their primary network. Our intel suggests destroying it while it's still connected will severely damage their linked systems. Plant the explosives before they have a chance to pull the plug.
Advent has the AO under heavy surveillance, so we'll need to keep a low profile on this one. If we stick to sending in troops Advent hasn't blacklisted yet, it'll decrease our chances of being detected.
And welcome back. I'm not crazy about being in another tunnel run, but with 3 grenadiers on our squad, we should be able to blast through literally everything that gets in our way.
Agreed. Our oppressors patrol near here.
And we've already got visual on our first enemy pod. Looks like a soldier and a Spectre. The timer won't budge till they spot us, and we've only got 4 turns once the timer does start counting down, so we're not going to hit them this round. For now, we'll just focus on moving our guys into position, and then we might attack them next turn. Depends on where they go. Though the issue I'm running into here is that there's just not a lot of ideal cover. Well, we'll have 2 of our guys sprint to flank the doorway, and the other 2 will just take this closer cover.
Roger that. Moving to designated coordinates. Roger that. Overwatch. Overwatch.
All set.
Was slip past.
And of course they're moving away from us. Oh, there's one of the psychic nodes. Okay. The short time limit suddenly makes a lot more sense. I think this is XCOM 2's equivalent. I think this is XCOM 2's equivalent of the time bomb mission from XCOM Enemy Unknown. The initial time limit is very short to begin with, but then you can extend the timer by interacting with those nodes.
Located.
Our readings indicate that relay is feeding energy directly into their network. If you can destroy it, it may disrupt their efforts to isolate the transmitter.
Okay, so I was mostly correct in my assumption. Destroying is kind of like interacting. We also just spotted our second Advent pod, which includes an Archon. That's going to be annoying.
Onward. Getting it done. That's affirmative. Affirmative. Moving out.
And everyone goes on to Overwatch, just in case.
Moving to Overwatch. Scanning a beast scanning. Sensors are keen.
Alright, well, the Spectre pod just came back into full line of sight. And we've got a pretty well-sheltered position from the other pod with the Archon. I think this is actually a good time to go ahead and start our assault. We can hopefully take out the soldier and the Spectre pretty quickly, and then we can turn around and cripple or kill the Archon pod as well. We will, of course, start off the assault with a plasma grenade, once I can get a clear line of sight.
Moving.
Take this!
Oh, looks like I'll be taking out one of the psychic nodes too. Convenient.
Well done. As we had hoped, the network separation has been temporarily delayed.
Okay. An Archon and a Viper. Let's go ahead and see if we can hit these guys with another grenade.
On your order.
There we go. That's just about perfect.
Grenade!
That takes out the Advent Soldier and softens up the Spectre enough that we can finish it off with a Blade Rush.
My strike surges forth.
Now I think we need another grenade in there. We'll move the bear up and he'll take care of that.
Frag out!
Now we'll bring Messer up. He may be able to take out that Viper with his pistol.
Verstanden, rück ab!
Very nice. That just leaves us with the Archon. Now, I could move Henrik to a safe position, but there's pretty much no chance we're going to take out this Archon with our next attack, so I think I'll set him on parry instead. And now we'll bring Purge Dome up to take the last shot. I just don't want to move him too close because I want the Archon to see Henrik as the most tempting target.
Let's do this!
Oh, well, he battle frenzied himself right on out of here. No sign of the Archon, so it's probably safe to assume that he flew off to join another pod on the battlefield. So, for now I guess we'll just start moving our squad up a little bit at a time. We'll take out these nodes to keep extending the timer. And we'll keep an eye out for that pod.
Begebe mich zu dieser Position.
Messer's actually pretty ideal for taking out these nodes because he never has to reload his pistol and it does just enough damage to kill them in one shot.
I'm on the move. Location confirmed.
Got cover. My senses are
Holding position.
Still no sign of that next enemy pod. I'm going to guess they're probably hanging out right next to that psychic transmitter. We'll keep pushing towards it, and we'll probably run into them in another turn or two. But just to be on the safe side, let's hit this node here so we can set Henrik into parry mode again, just in case that Archon comes out of nowhere and attacks him.
On your order. Tired of waiting around.
Befehl bestätigt. On the move. On the move.
I'm on it. Scanning.
And we'll take out another node just to keep the timer extended.
Moving to Overwatch. Covering now.
Okay, let's go ahead and breach this doorway. And there they are.
Objective.
That's a confirmed visual on the transmitter. Plant the X4 charges before they can cut it off from the network.
Good, they came right towards us. I think I can work with this. Let's see here. Let's bring up one of our grenadiers and open up a window for the rest of our boys to shoot through.
Closing on target position now.
There we go. A little fidgety, but that should do it.
For you.
Now let's bring up another grenadier and hit them again.
Heading out.
I could hit that Archon, but let's focus on the shield bearer for now. Take him out before he can armor everyone up.
Boom.
Now, Purge Dome doesn't have a shot. but Messer does. He's got a pretty good angle on the officer, so let's go ahead and take that shot. Ah, no hit. Alright. Well, let's go ahead and take out the shield bearer instead. Hey, and we got some bonus loot. Wow, that's some pretty nice stuff, too. And we'll use parry again. Maybe Henrik will actually get to parry an attack this time. And we'll round things out by lobbing another grenade in there.
Grenade out!
That takes out the officer and puts the Archon on death's doorstep. Now let's see if Purge Dome can take advantage of that.
Let's move already!
Well, that was easy.
We're not picking up any other contacts. Get those charges deployed. Signal confirmed. X4 charges are active. That transmitter is history. Good work, Commander.
A mission with only 6 enemies? Advent's getting sloppy.
Advent City centers are but one organism. When criminals, such as XCOM, strike against any single part, they strike at us all. While Advent outreach squads rush to provide much-needed assistance to the affected areas, our peacekeepers hunt down our attackers to ensure that such tragedy never occurs again.
Excellent work, Commander. Your efforts in the field have certainly encouraged the crew.
Well, not much in the way of promotions, but it does look like Messer and Vlad have forged a bond. I think they make a good team. And of course, Messer will pick up the Lightning Hands perk. Would have been nice to get some more promotions, but overall, not bad. All things considered, Operation Furious Hero was a flawless success. The psionic transmitter had been destroyed, Advent's latest plans were foiled, and all of our men had come back without a scratch. What's more, Tygan had also been impressed with the work done by the civilian contact who'd pointed us towards the transmitter in the first place. Apparently he felt like she'd be a good fit for some sort of secret new project he was working on. So, at his insistence, I invited her to join our research staff, and she eagerly accepted the offer. Shortly afterwards, Sergeant Greengard and Squatty Morgan returned from their sabotage mission. Once again, we had managed to set back Advent's progress on the mysterious Avatar project, but this time without all the horrific injuries that had come with our assault on the facility in New Brazil. It had been a busy week. We had destroyed one Advent research facility, sabotaged another, and as an added bonus we had even taken out one of their weird psionic transmitters. We had officially declared war on the Advent Authority, and I think they had gotten our message loud and clear. Now it was just a matter of sitting back and waiting to see what they would do in response.